Hey, level 5-6, I hope that was a good bar. I hope you had the opportunity to make sure you did both sides. I hope you made the opportunity to stretch and get some water. I hope you made the opportunity to fix your hair like I was doing mine. And I hope that the center will serve you. It's hard to do a center because I really don't know what kind of space you guys have. So I'm going to give kind of an average center class. I will be demonstrating more than I will be, I will be teaching, demonstrating, lecturing more than I will be doing full out. So please, if you have questions, again, you can tag me in that one email you send me or video of you doing it. If you want any feedback on your technique or your ability or your dance ability or rhythm or whatever you're working on specifically, setting those goals are really important, that you have a goal for doing these videos, that you're not just following along. I mean, at the base level, following along is good. It keeps our brain busy. As most of you know, I fight with depression and anxiety as well. Luckily, I don't have to be medicated at this point. But I struggle with mental health issues just like anybody else does. Just because I'm a ballet teacher and an artist and have made my way doesn't mean I don't have trauma in my life. So, and this has been traumatic for me, this what's going on in the world right now. So I've found that I get bogged down with my emotions and my well-being and my sense of freedom and not to mention just the average like life stuff. When I'm not moving, when I'm physically immobile, watching, I mean, I'm all for watching TV and Netflix and chill for a day or even half a day, but you have got to keep your bodies busy. You've got to keep your minds busy. People that tend to excel at dance tend to be slightly, and I'm not diagnosing by any means, but tend to be slightly ADHD. They tend to be busy people. They like to be busy. They like to get up and have a sense of purpose and a sense of goal and a sense of moving forward. That is hard in times like these where you literally have no control, which opens up philosophy of, do any of us have any control ever? But I'll leave that for you to essay and journal about in your journals. Or make a ballet sketch or a ballet doodle, improvisation of that, maybe to keep it moving. But investigate those. Pulling it full circle though, you need to approach these videos with a goal or a sense of what you want out of them. If it literally is to keep you from turning the TV on and moving a little bit, more power to you. Absolutely fine. If you are trying to improve your technique, you need to move slower and you need to really examine the material being given. You need to make sure you're doing it both sides and you need to be pushing yourself. You need to take it to the next level. This is a great lesson for what should be happening in the studio, but definitely on your own. Again, if you have questions, easily you can get a hold of me. Again, I will be describing the material that we're doing and giving the combinations, but I will not be demonstrating them full out for center. Okay. This is a good challenge for those of you that do convention and competition work, as well as audition skills, of being able to pick something up quickly without necessarily seeing it full out or hearing the music in the background right away. That is a challenge that all of my dancers face from the ballet prerogative or standpoint. But I think dancers, when put under stressful conditions anyways, even if you tend to memorize stuff quickly and efficiently, you don't always get the details as clear as possible. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with an adagio, mostly a port de bras, and you can follow along because I will do this with you guys. But we start in fifth quasi, right or left, it doesn't matter as long as you reverse it. 7 and 8, we just do port de bras, simple academic port de bras first and second, low third, high third, and fourth and fifth, tendu plie, glissade through fifth to the other side, and then we do the second side first and second, low third, high third, fourth and fifth, plie tendu and croisé, ronde glissade is what I'll call that. It's a rond de jambe, a demi-rond de jambe that comes through the glissade. It's sort of like a preparation for pas de basque without doing the pas de basque. Although, if you want to take a progression, you could do pas de basque through glissade to the arabesque and then close fifth. That's totally fine if you want a little bit more artistic and a little more movement. Totally fine. Now, as I said in level 3-4's video, we call things by a certain academic terminology, mostly so every level is the same, and there's a universal understanding of first is belly button with the middle fingers. Second is out from the shoulders, from that position opening out. That doesn't necessarily mean that those names are accurate to all the different forms of ballet. Royal Academy of Dance, French, Cecchetti, Balanchine, Vaganova. It is just what makes it easier for my personal curriculum, and they do reflect more of the Vaganova and Balanchine style. But in general, don't get bogged down by the terminology, get bogged down by the shape your body is making. Because just like I've always said the story about my friend who's a professional dancer, who she can't spell, God bless her, anything in the ballet terminology accurately because she doesn't speak French, and it was never her focal point. She never wanted to be a teacher. She never wanted, dancing was her life. So she had no interest in the theory side of it. So she'd be the first one to say, I don't know what the name of this arm is, but it's done this way, and it should look like this. And I think that that's a really good perspective to have when you're approaching theory. If you want to teach, you should be versed, in my opinion, on pretty much all the schools. And then, obviously, what you give out should be based on your audience, not an ideal. Whoever's in front of you and you're teaching should be the focus, not the ideal student who isn't in front of us trying to teach. Little lecture for the teachers watching. Anyway, so port de bras in the 5th croisé. 7. Big palmo, shouldering, using those arms and head. 2. Awesome to do with family. Plie, push, point. First, second, low third, light. Again, repeated with pas de basse. Because there's less counts and more material, it does have to flow a little bit more with the and counts. Push through. And 1, 2. If you'd like a progression on that material, I would say do it from a creative standpoint. Start, especially if you have younger siblings, like really younger siblings, and you're involving them in this port de bras lesson, give it to them, but do it maybe walking down the stairways on your patio first and second and low third and high third and fourth and fifth, and reversing each. Leave the music out of it. Make it an activity. Sometimes when we take ballet and we put it in real-world circumstances, because it did reflect real-world circumstances at one point in our history, although it's changed, we don't, especially in America, we don't grow up under a monarchy, so we're not exactly sure how all this regal stuff works. Whereas to the peasant, let alone anybody else, in those countries absolutely know procedure and how that goes when you meet the queen, if you happen to be by somebody who is of the monarchy or royal family, you do treat them in a very specific way. Ballet is no different. It's just a very formalized structure of that kind of dancing and folk work. But if you apply this stuff into real world terms, walking through the street, walking down your patio to the barbecue, the fire pit, with your hot cocoa in one arm, that gives you a sense of how it really felt, and then ultimately how it should feel on stage. Because it is regal. Ballet is a royal art form. It comes from peasant and folk dances, but it's been refined and structured. It's more athletic now more than ever. But yeah, so if you have questions, you know where to reach me. Tendus. Very clean tendu lesson today. So we'll do croisé and 5th, à la 4e devant, 5th, with plié, effacé, tombe lié, cloche, 5th, tendu, plié, à la 4e, plié, effacé, plié, cloche, plié, rond de jambe, 1st and 5th, 1st and let's go ahead and see that. I would love you guys dancing this one and putting it on video as well and sharing it with me. Finding that A pommel, plié, cloche, plié, tendu, plié, tendu, cloche. And a first and a fifth, first and a fifth, and fifth, twice, plié, opposites, forward movement, and first, the challenge on that material is that you make it a little quicker, you do it in double time. You could do it with the dégagé as well, which I would highly recommend actually as your first progression, and then traveling on one leg, yeah? And then from there, going for big, going for brogue, really getting into that grand plié, really sliding that cloche tomlié out, trying to cover space and maintaining your technique is the hardest part of that kind of progression or style of training, very balancing. You have to keep everything with you. You have to keep those hips and ribs with you as you move that quickly. One thing that I would also recommend, if you've done the progression with the dégagé version of it, and you're still able to keep square, and you've challenged yourself to a little bit of traveling and movement, to do it reversed. Not on the left side reverse, which is what all dancers sometimes think of reversal. Reversal is an actual reversal backwards, 1 plié, 2 plié, 3 plié, tomlié, cloche, and reversal, back plié, back plié, back plié, tomlié, cloche, reversal, traveling forward as opposed to back in that kind of material. That's really an important skill because 90% of teachers, in fact, I'd venture to say 99% of teachers will not demonstrate it for you above like a level 2 or a 3, reversed or in retrograde or anything like that. That is the dancer's challenge and skill at the higher levels. You need to be able to have that dexterity in your brain and flexibility to follow along by doing that. And if you can, you're going to be so far above and beyond because even the normal stuff where you don't have to, let's say in the competition convention world, rarely are you supposed to or need to reverse anything. And because of that, you'll not only get the original combination faster and cleaner, you'll have time to work the combination, not just from a technical, like carving out your flexibility and strength and what you want to present in it, but the artistry, the dancing of the combination. That, I mean, if you ask any of them, they're going to say yes, that's probably the most important. It's easier in the competition convention world to judge technique because it's more black and white. Yes, she's turned out. Yes, her leg goes higher accurately than she does. He has a cleaner passe than that boy does. But the reality is we're also looking for dancing. We're looking for people who are connecting to the movement and the phrase of the choreography because that is something that I personally do not believe can be taught. You can teach rhythm and counts, shapes, technique, building the phrase, building all the theory. But when it comes down to it, a true dancer lives in themselves and their body, and they just move the combination, how they move it. And the artists are the ones who do that with technique, and you're still moved as an audience member. You don't sit there going, look at their technique, look at their extension, look at their whatever it is that you're looking, their pretty legs, their feet, their muscles, their body. Costume, you're looking at the dancing. Everything is cleared out fog-wise when you watch an artist perform, and all you see is the dancing. Probably they have an understanding and a firm value of their technique as well as strength, and flexibility. But the reality is that most dance artists that are true dancers just do it. They just dance. And that's where you should be working from. That's something we've been working on in my classes a lot more lately. So let's go to a petit saut, a little jump. This one, I was going to give my tongue twister one, which you guys were still having trouble with in March. jump releve. So I'm going to give that vocally, and I'll mark it with my foot. It's up to you if you want to keep working on it. That isn't going away because it's very functional in every class I've given. So I think it's really doing some good work. Your arms are on ba, and you start in first position. From there, you plie on 8, don't be late, and it's saute, saute, rebound, releve, saute, saute, rebound, releve, saute, 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 échappé, releve, plie, straight. Plie, the whole phrase starts again, jump, jump, releve, plie, jump, jump, releve, plie, jump, 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 échappé, releve. You're working through your positions, first, second, now, and fourth. Plie, jumpin', plie, straight. Plie, jumpin', plie, straight. Plie, up, and up, and up. Releve, plie, échappé. I messed that one up. So let's go back to fourth position. Sorry, talking and teaching at the same time. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump, and jump, and jump, and jump, and échappé, releve. I think I added a jump in there as well, forgive me. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump and jump and jump, échappé, change, releve. You're on the opposite fifth. From there, the music would stop, and then you would go back to first position and repeat. So again, rhythm, jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump and jump and jump, échappé, releve, plie. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump, releve. Jump and jump and jump and jump, échappé, releve, plie. Same thing through to the fifth positions. Progression, changements instead of soubresaut in the fifth position. For our petit saut, we'll do in first and first and fifth, and first and first and fifth, and first and fifth, and first and fifth, and fifth and fifth and fifth. Then we do the other side. This is fun to use the épaulement and get the shoulders involved as well. First, fifth. Going quickly to an adagio after a little petit saut. I like to mix things as a teacher, quick, slow. I think it's good training at the advanced level. It's not classical. Usually you do adagio, tendus, tendus, adagio, releve, little jumps, allegro, 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 and maybe a coda or a turn at the end of class, and then grande allegro. Sometimes I like to juxtaposition the adagio and the jumps because your body's all like, whew, and then you have to like control. And it's a nice segue. So, fifth, again, talking through it. Quasi. Grand plie, 2, 3, 4, releve, 2, 3, plie, 4. Développé to the front, quasi, 3, 4, passe, 5, promenade, 6, attitude, 7, hold, 8. Unfold, 1, 2, 3, 4, promenade, arabesque on des dawn, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to that third arabesque, plie, releve, pas de bourrée, no change. 5th, 7, and 8. Grand, 2, 3, 4, releve, 2, 3, 4. Développé, croisé devant, 2, 3, carry side, passe, développé, into the attitude, into the arabesque. Promenade, on des dawn, into the third arabesque, releve, pas de bout back, finish, and stretch. I'm going to go ahead and turn the adagio music on for you to do that. Review the video if you need to. And I'm going to get a sip of water while you do your adagio. 5th quasi, and. Grand, passe into that third arabesque. Taking time to make an attitude into the arabesque. Promenade on dedans. And showing that third arabesque, releve, underneath. 5, 6, 7, 8. Grand plie. And 2. And 3. And 4. Releve 1. And 2. Plie 3. And 4. Développé croisé, devant to the front. Carry side, écarté, enveloppé. And out to the arabesque, shape the attitude. Back to the arabesque, find your leg. Promenade on dedans, inside turn. And showing the arabesque again. Releve. Back, front, back, demi-plie. And finish on the left. Good. Feel free to send me a video of that too. I'd love to see that, especially out in nature. If you have a big backyard or something, that'd be really pretty to see under some trees or something if it's not raining by the time you get this video. Pirouettes. Pirouette, we are going to do just something we've done in my class for years because I just want you to work on technique with pirouette. We'll start 5th, right foot front with our quarter turns. So we have 7 and 8. Tendu 1, spot, 2, quarter 3 and 4. 1 spot, 2, over 3 and 4. 1 spot, 2, over 3 and 4. 1 spot, 2, 3 and 4. Half, 2, 3, 4. Half, 2, 3, 4. Full turn from 5th to the 4th. Lunge pirouette and turn, close 5th. You're ready on the left. So, walking you through the left with some music. Side, prep, passe. Side, prep, into unrelevant. Side, prep, over. Side, prep, over. Half turns, 1, prep, turn, facing back, side, prep, turn. As you notice, there's a passe every time. Full pirouette from 5th, back to 4th, pirouette, and finish. Right side. Spot changes can make it difficult, so really count the spot change as opposed to trying to be rhythmic. Look, up, down. 1, head 2, turn, down. Full pirouette, rubber rods out of it. Yeah. Now, progression, you do doubles. Progression, you could take it flat and then adding the releve. You could do it in coupe and then adding retire passe, the higher passe version. There's a lot of things you can do with this combination to make it work for you. So I think it's important, but it is pretty bland. Fruits and vegetables, chicken on lettuce. There's not much to it, but that should make it fun. It should make it clean and simple to work on your pirouette and your balance. My biggest encouragement is the supporting side, so that when you plie, you're not favoring that supporting side, and that when you releve, you're not favoring that supporting side releve. You're really feeling an equalized balance in the body to be able to go straight up and straight down. The fourth position, lunge, please make sure we're not in some weird forced arch or weird heel inversion, anything like that. It's stretched off of that leg, and then that leg is placed down before you eject it to go up. From there, let's take our PK turn photo. So we'll just do PK turns either across the floor. You can do them just straight up, straight down. If you want to work on your passe technique, if it was a little rusty for your pirouettes, just do PK passe, fifth PK passe, and travel it forward as well as sideways. If you really want a challenge, you could travel it backward. And that way you can work on your retiré position without worrying about the turn, so to speak. So we have PK pose, PK pose. Could do it forward, a face, could do the pirouettes, or all of them. Always finish your lesson. Give the audience a reason to clap at the end. So it could be the other side. PK side, side, front, front. Turning once, turning twice, arabesque. Run to the other side. So it would be side, side, front, front, and turn, turn, close. Very good. In the center, just grand battement, front side, back side, each side. Cadavre plié, cadavre relevant. Front, cadavre plié. Front, cadavre plié there. Front, cadavre plié there. Tendu, change, left. Front. You could do a grand plié if you really wanted to. And up, one harder. Tendu, change, all from the back. Back. Change. Back. Change. Back. Breathe. So it could be a front écarté. This could be a tendu or a battement. And back. Change. And back. En face from contre derrière. And back. Down. Side. And finish. So that's a pretty fluid grand battement. There's not a lot of side battement to it, so what you could do, all those little tendus into the écarté to transition, could be a full-on battement or a battement développé if you have those in your dance, if you want to work on those. But you could also just take that same rhythm of music and just do 8 to the back grand battement, and then 8 to the front grand battement, and finish. Grand battement is the least of your guys' worries, but it does get some activity into you. So, from here, I'm going to give you a grand allegro that's very basic because I want you to focus on your showcase and recital material more than you're focusing on classwork right now. So you need to be really thinking about your recital dance, at least on your ballet days. If your choreography is done on Wednesday, that's an easy skeleton routine that on Wednesday night you go over all your routines from Wednesday night. It should be a simple matter of doing that. If you're not, and you're depending on being an advanced dancer who's going to come back into the room and remember everything, it's not going to work for you. You may have the skeleton of the dance, but you won't look good dancing it. So you really need to get in the motion of the rhythm of the choreography, even if you're marking. You know I'm not a promoter of marking, but I think it has value and it has its place. So just working through the material in your choreography, marking it, will give you a little bit more of the rhythm of what you want to perform. If you just think about it and go over your steps, you're not going to get the dancing. You might get the memory, but you're not going to get the dancing. And those are two different things. So, allegro, tombe, pas de bourrée, glissade faillie, saut de chat, step arabesque, chassé or gallop, tour jeté, chassé or gallop, fouette, landing in that third arabesque. Relevé, développé front, tombé pas de bourrée, glissade, grand jeté. Trivia question. Difference between a soda shaw and a grand jeté. I can hear all of you yelling at me right now. Maybe I should make a challenge, and whoever answers it right gets a treat. Not that we can give treats or see each other in a long time, but soda shaw is from the cat family. Shaw in French is cat. Chat. Yeah. So anything from the cat family has a bent-knee that unfolds. So I think développé would be from the cat family, so to speak. Of course, they all come from the développé family. That's why you study it at the bar, but the idea in the center is like a cat. You pounce and you unfold. So we have grand jeté being a large throw or a large leap thrown where the legs are straight. Tombé, pas de bourrée to the king and the queen. Glissade, failli, soda shaw, arm option. Boys would generally be first arabesque to third. You can reach out, ladies, here, or you can take this arm, it's fine. Failli, step, and arabesque. Chassé, I prefer ladies chassé and gentlemen run, but that's just the gendered norm in ballet, because ballet is still pretty gendered. But it really is ultimately however you feel, and whatever's going to give you the best energy to dance. Chassé or run, fouette, sauté, plié, you land on one leg. Relevé, développé through, pas de bourrée, glissade, and soda shaw. Yes. So we'll do a grand allegro to that, and we'll march through that, and then we'll have our adagio for our reverence. And pas de bourrée, glissade, failli, soda shaw, step, arabesque, chassé, duck, switch, land, step, switch, hold, relevé, unfold, pas de bourrée, glide, and split, and 1, 2, and lead. Good. Reverence, second position. One, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I hit coda, but it's a fast reverence. And forward, down, and up, and back, turn, and hold, prepare, 2, that was a wild reverence. You can move that to an adagio if you want musically. Grand plié, relevé, plié, side, fifth, down, turn, knee. The grand allegro I would recommend you do across the floor a few times, but get outside, do it outside, do it where you have some space, fly through the air. Feel, if you're near a beach especially, but feel how small we feel in the greater scheme of nature. When we take dance in a dance studio classroom, things feel pretty big, especially on a good day. You get to a bigger studio or convention room, you feel smaller, but you still feel like you can fill space. You get outside, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm really small. Yeah, we are. So learning how to take up space and dance within nature, that's where all this came from in the end. So try to get outside and enjoy it. Pair this class with a lower level class or the pre-point workout. And I might be doing some stretch and strengthening work later. So I miss you all. I hope class was okay. Leave comments so that I know if for some reason class wasn't exactly what you wanted or needed, I can create a video at a later date with something that you really want to study or you really need. So let me know how it goes.